All right, today we're going to settle a classic debate in the golf world. We're putting two absolute titans of the beginner game head-to-head. Callaway versus Srixon. Let's dive right in.
So picture this. You're standing in the golf shop. You're staring at this giant wall of golf balls. You've got the Callaway Supersoft in one hand, the Srixon Soft Feel in the other. You know they're both great for your game, but which one is actually the right choice?
Well, don't you worry. We are about to break down everything you need to know. The tech, the feel, the performance, the whole shebang. And by the end of this, you're going to know, without a doubt, which ball belongs in your bag.
First up in the ring, we have the legend itself, the Callaway Supersoft. I mean, this ball has a huge, loyal following for a reason. So let's get into what makes it so popular.
It all starts right at the center, with the core. Callaway has this fancy name for it, the Hyper-Elastic Soft Fast Core. Okay, but what does that jargon actually mean for you? It's simple, really. If you're like most of us and your swing speed is under 90 miles per hour, this core is your secret weapon. It's built to squeeze out every last bit of ball speed, which means, you guessed it, more distance.
Now, let's talk about the outside of the ball, the cover, because this is where things get really interesting. Callaway didn't just cook this up in-house. No, they actually partnered with Dow Chemical to create this stuff. It's a special hybrid material that's designed to do it all. It's tough enough to take a few bad hits, soft enough to give you that great feel, and it provides just the right amount of spin control around the greens. And here it is, the magic number 38. That is the compression rating of this ball. Now, to put that into perspective, that is incredibly low. It makes the Supersoft one of the absolute softest golf balls money can buy. So why do you care? Because if you don't swing like a tour pro, this low compression means you can actually compress the ball at impact, and that is the key to unlocking that extra distance you've been looking for.
Look, tech specs are great and all, but what does it feel like when you hit it? Well, this quote from our source material just nails it. From your driver all the way down to your putter, you get this smooth, almost buttery sensation. That's the kind of feel that just makes you feel good standing over the ball.
And you know, Callaway didn't just stop with performance, they had some fun with the style too. You can get the Supersoft in this whole rainbow of matte colors. They look awesome, but they also help cut down on glare and make it way easier to see your ball flying through the air. And for around 25 to 28 bucks a dozen, it's a fantastic deal.
Okay, so let's boil it all down. The pros for the Supersoft, that unbelievably soft feel, the extra distance it gives slower swings, and really solid control around the greens. Now, for the cons? If you have a really fast swing, this ball is probably not for you. And that super soft cover can get scuffed up if you catch one thin.
Okay, let's turn our attention to the challenger in the other corner, the Srixon Soft Feel. Now this ball is kind of a quiet giant in the golf world, known for being super consistent and an amazing value.
So it's Srixon's secret sauce. It's their fast layer core, and honestly, it's a really clever piece of tech. The core is super soft right in the middle, and then it gradually gets firmer as you go towards the outside. That design gives you the best of both worlds, that great soft feel you want, but also the power to snap back at impact and generate more ball speed.
Now let's talk about how this thing flies through the air. Srixon uses what they call a 338 speed dimple pattern. All those little dimples are designed to cut through the air better and reduce drag. What that really means for you out on the course is on a windy day, this ball is just going to hold its line better. It's more stable, more predictable, exactly what you need when the weather isn't perfect.
And then when you get around the greens, this is where the Soft Feel name really comes to life. As our source points out, it has this quiet, confidence-boosting sound and feel off the putter. It's that predictable, solid feedback that really helps you dial in your speed and sink more putts. When it comes to looks, Srixon keeps it classic. You know, a clean, pro-level design. You can get it in that traditional white or a really bright, high-vis yellow. But here's the real kicker. At about $22 to $25 a dozen, it's usually a few bucks cheaper than the Supersoft. We're talking about one of the best bang-for-your-buck golf balls you can find.
All right, let's get the final verdict on the Srixon Soft Feel. The pros? You're getting an excellent soft feel, great distance, solid control, and it's super affordable. The cons? Well, just like the Callaway, it's not made for super fast swing speeds. And, a more advanced player might want a little more spin to really work the ball.
Okay, we've sized up both fighters. Now it's time for the main event. Let's put them side by side in our tail of the tape and see exactly where they stand apart.
Okay, let's really get into the nitty-gritty here. They both use really smart core technology to help you get more distance, right? But the real difference, the thing you'll actually feel and see, comes down to the cover and the spin.
The Callaway Supersoft is built to have lower spin, which is amazing for straightening out your drives and fighting that slice. On the other hand, the Srixon Soft Feel gives you just a little bit more spin, which can give you some extra stopping power on your shots into the green.
So, after all that, who's the winner? Which ball is better? Well, here's the thing. There isn't just one winner. The real question is, which ball wins for you and your game?
Let's make this super simple. If your number one priority is that marshmallow soft feel, and you really need help keeping the ball straight, then yeah, the Callaway Supersoft is your guy. But if you want a little more bite on the greens and you're all about getting the absolute best value for your money, then the Srixon Soft Feel is the one to grab. And of course, if you just love playing a bright green or pink ball, well, the choice is pretty obvious, isn't it?
So there you have it. The choice is yours. And honestly, you can't really go wrong with either one. They're both fantastic golf balls. But look, picking the right ball, that's just step one. It gets you in the game, but it also makes you think, now that you've got the right tool for the job, what's the next part of your game you're going to master on your quest to break 90?